Hello, this is Auto Imagination with a Healing Garden. If you are new to my channel, I have 30 years philosophy, for 30 years psychology, and 30 years sociology under me, as well as music theory, physics, and about 10 other subjects that I absolutely am passionate about. I love Authenticity City. So what I am working on right now is basically breaking down. I'm not breaking down anything anymore. I've definitely stabilized. I can feel that. I'm like, yes, I'm stable. I figured this shit out. So I'm basically making rounds, and that's something I'm trying to get into the habit of. Where are my crowns? I haven't worn my crowns in a couple days, and I want my crown. I want my crown. I went to a party the other day with my crown, and ever since then, I haven't been wearing my crowns. And I'm like, oh, my crowns. There we go. There we go. My crowns. All right, I feel better. I feel whole. I feel complete. All right, so I definitely rebranded, which required this massive overhaul, which beautiful. I love the results. I love the results. I'm now throwing around the world magical adult, hence the crown. And I'm really pushing my natural play learning through everything that I do. So that's going along beautifully. So I've got the rebranding down. I've got the new colors. I have my new image going forward. And I've basically been able to settle. Everything's settling now. And I'm like, oh, I'm liking this a lot. So what we're now working on is building authenticity. And I'm basically sharing with people my societal plan. I started to touch on it a little bit as far as how it's done. But in order for you to understand how I'm doing this and where you fit into this is completely dependent upon how well you know perspective psychology. So in my previous videos, in my mass of shifting perspectives, I talk a lot about the 6 stages of growth. And once you understand how the psychology of the 6 stages of growth works, and I think it's probably best to do like an introduction to the 6 stages, break them all down for you and show you how they all interact together. Once you understand how the 6 stages work and interact together, you have a much better working understanding of how you fit into the program, how you fit into the entire spectrum. The 6 stages of growth they were first defined by Dr. Graves in the 1970s through spiral dynamics. I studied the 30 years of sociology, philosophy, and psychology. When I came upon them, it was literally, oh my God, it just plugged everything in and it just lit up everything. Triadic healing was already established at that point. And triadic healing is literally my program designed to walk a person through the evolution and the growth of the 6 stages of growth. Well, the 8+ stages of growth. So all of my work is there, but I was able to see layer upon layer upon layer of the work he had done. So I was able to go, no, it needs to go here, it needs to go here, it needs to go here. So I plugged it all in. It was beautiful. When I was all done and said with that, basically I created something called combination theory, which is where you understand where you are in the spectrum so that you have a better idea where your emotional growth is, where your subconscious mind growth is. So a person has 3 perspectives, basically. We're not one perspective. There's this current concept left over from the 1600s and the Victorian era that then merged together in our current society, that there is only one perspective. It is the truth, and we all have to conform to the one perspective, and we all have to be one like-minded around this one perspective. This is not true. There are 12 perspectives. 12 perspectives. Just a minute, my chair is stuck. There are 12 perspectives. And when you have a variation of all these 12 perspectives, most people are at the 4th perspective. 4th perspective is pretty much, there's foundationals, which is people who are in 1 through 4 stages of growth. I call the 5 and 6 cultivators, and then 6+ visionaries. Now, I'm also beginning to realize this is new. This is new. I've not yet announced this yet because I'm noticing shit and I'm going, oh. So in addition to being those 12 stages of visionary, cultivator, foundational, you can also be a cultivator visionary. You can also be a cultivator foundational or cultivator visionary. So you can be variations of this. For instance, I'm a visionary because I'm at stage 11. So I am in the visionary stage where I make blueprints, but I like to make my blueprints and teach them to cultivators. So that would make me a visionary first and foremost, and a cultivator second. So I'm a visionary cultivator. Now, if your primary concern is cultivating, and then your second might be building, then or a doer, then you would be a cultivator foundational. Now, if you are a foundational who just likes to do, that puts you at foundational, which is fine. So you can be a foundational, you can be a cultivator or a cultivator foundational. Or you can be a visionary, which would be a visionary foundational. Can you do that? I guess you could do that. You could be a visionary cultivator, a visionary foundational. It means that you like to create the blueprints and you like to teach, or you like to create the blueprints and you like to do. So if you are a doer, teacher, or thinker, that's pretty much it. That's what I mean when I say foundational. It means you're a doer. It means you just like to do the hands-on. That is what I mean when I say a foundational. A teacher is your cultivator. That's why I use the word cultivator. These are people who want to pass on information to other people. These are anyone who wants to help other people. Parents, teachers, healers automatically fall under the cultivator. So if you are a healer, a parent, or a teacher, that puts you in the cultivator because you are cultivating the minds of the future. That's what you're doing. And then the visionary are just the people who like to create the ideas. They like to invest or build the concepts. Now, some people just like to build the idea and do nothing else with it. Some people like to take the idea and then hand it to other people. And that's fine. It's called delegation. So a visionary will come up with an idea and then they would have to teach it or pass it on to a teacher. Now, some people don't even like doing that. They like to build it, create the idea, and then just share the idea, which is okay too. So that's a visionary, or just a visionary. The visionary teacher, visionary cultivator, that's me, is somebody who creates the idea and then passes it on via teaching or cultivating to other people. Now, I am not. I am not a foundational. Any of the work that's involved in foundationals is not my happy place. I don't enjoy it. I feel like I am not doing my full potential. I feel wasted. If you have a feeling of being wasted or not reaching your full potential or feeling unfulfilled, it is because you are in one of the wrong categories. In most cases, if you are a visionary and you just don't enjoy thinking and coming up with ideas, you'd rather be hands on, that means you're just a foundational. Foundationals are vital to the culture because they're everything. They are the foundation of a culture, which is why I call them foundationals. Our future is in their hands. Now, it's imperative that you understand, that we all understand, that if you are a foundational, there's going to be foundationals who love to stay there and foundationals who are not meant to be there. So if a foundational expresses interest in being a cultivator or a visionary, you need to give them the space to get there. You need to give them the tools and the nurturing. So in my beautiful future society, my current society of Authenticity City, I see foundationals as having the question, do you want to do? Do you want to build? Do you want to physically work? Do you love doing that? Do you want to cultivate? Do you want to teach people? Or do you want to be a visionary? Do you want to do research? Do you want to? So understanding this basic, doer, hands-on, build, or a teacher, and you can be any combination of this. So once you understand where the child falls, where the creation falls in this, where the mindset falls, and it can change. They might say, you know what, this year I'm going to be this. Or they might say, can I try all three? Yeah, absolutely. You can try all three. So then you have like this hodgepodge of a sampler where a person can go in and try. They can work as a doer, or the foundational, they can try the cultivation, they can try the visionary and determine where they like to be. Now, if you're going in saying, do you want to be an actress? Do you want to be this? Do you want to, that's not quite going to work. And that's something else here as well, because you have people who are, I'm going to have to break that down. I'm in the stage where I'm studying resources and all this one part. So, because you have people who, like an actress, entertainer basically is what it is. They like to entertainer. And then you have people who create art. It's very much, yeah, it's art creation. It's art creation. And that's your visionary. If you are into art and you like to create your own art, you are a visionary. if you like to perform on stage and entertain, I really don't know what that is. I really don't. I wouldn't put that in any of the three categories. And that's where I am. So I don't know where that fits in, which is probably why it took me so long to figure out exactly what that was. So I'll have to figure that out because it's definitely play. I don't know. See, for me, that's teaching. That's if you are acting or performing, that to me is teaching. I can't separate actor from teacher because I went to school at the University of Alexandria, and their professors were actors. Philosophers and actors are the same thing. That's why when you look at the curriculum at ancient Alexandria, that is exactly what their curriculum was the concept, excuse me, was the concept that you have these actors, actresses who went on to perform philosophy. Basically, their curriculum was more than 50% of the curriculum was art based, muse based, theater based, communication based. And the other less than half of that was science. Was so they prioritized Plato, prioritized theater and acting more than science. Now that was a huge, isn't that interesting? Why? So I studied the psychology of Plato and, well, psychology of science. I studied all of that. And when I did that, I realized that theater, play, stage, acting is actually communication and teaching because NPL, natural play learning. So if you want to communicate somebody, if you want them to learn something, you have to put on a costume and present and do. As a result, you have the ability to deliver your lesson with so much more impact that the human mind naturally picks it up. You want to teach, act, perform, embrace theater. It's the art of communication and play that comes together in one so that your message is received smoothly and you will impact that student so much greater. People are impacted so much greater through theater and play and stage than any other method. Because you are literally pulling and drawing from all of these sources. You are activating the visual, activating the imagination, activating everything inside of the human mind that turns on to say, time to absorb this, which is why children learn so much better than adults, is because children are allowed to engage in play. Adults are not. So when you allow a child to engage in play, you're actually allowing the child to learn at exponential rates than an adult. An adult is not allowed to learn through play. As a result, they're not learning through play. The best way an adult learns today is through theater, imaginative books, television, documentaries, and music song. I just see those training videos, and everyone groans, the training videos that were given in workshops and at work, and it's just like, ugh. So it's why my branding has changed. It's why I've changed my branding, my marketing, everything is because it's geared toward the magical adult. It's targeted toward that play learning style that we all have activated inside of our brains. And it's also significantly starved in adults. So I have that all straightened out with Authenticity City. And I'm also going to be pulling, yeah, these are definitely my daily rounds now. I'm going to my light workers, and I have Imagination Nation. That I also want to nurture. And then I have the Healing Garden. Oh, yeah, this is coming along nicely. So I have Authenticity City. I have light workers, Imagination Nation for the networking, and the Healing Garden. I think that's it. I also have my playground. My playground. My playground. Yeah, my playground I've kind of like pulled back from because I'm needing to focus more on everything. I'm trying to learn how to balance all this. So once I get the balance down, that's what I'm doing right now is I've got all the balls finally written. I finally have all the balls in place, and now I'm learning how to juggle them. And I know once I get the juggling down, I'll have it set. I'm taking case studies now, which is fantastic. I'm so excited about that. So if you want to become a case study, so my work is triadic healing. Basically what I do is for my case studies, I have, maybe I should write down all my agendas. So what is my agenda? My agenda is to provide an alternate society for castaways, for magical adults. It is a society for magical adults. That is what Authenticity City is. It is a beta city, a beta mindset for magical adults to have a place to go. That's the first thing. That's Authenticity City. The second thing that I have the agenda for is world peace. I'm working on that project, and I already have, using my sociology, psychology, and philosophy, and Plato's work. I already have that in place as far as how to get us from where we are to world peace. It's already detailed. I have a blueprint. It's all laid out. The next thing I have is the healing program. The healing program basically offers everything you need to cultivate your mental health, so that, and my motto is using imagination, story, psychology for magical adults, so that, I'm just going to go ahead and read you my business card here. I free witches, empaths, healers, energy readers, ethereal walkers, and light workers from toxic mindsets through natural play learning, story, and logic, so they can have their authenticity, imagination, and dreams again, the source of their power. So that's actually what I do. And I use something called triadic healing to do that. Triadic healing is basically my healing program. It's my healing method that I designed using all of my really uber awesome experience and knowledge to create a combination of NPL, natural play learning, that allows people to uncondition all of the societal programming that's been embedded into their minds. Now, the programming that's there currently is 2,000 years old. It was embedded there through the Council of Nicaea in the 4th century. Sociology studies. So when you understand how the Council of Nicaea used the Christian story to embed their own agenda into it, and then they used story to pass it along for centuries, they actually reconditioned us to think like a narcissist or to serve a narcissist, which is why it's so prevalent in our society. Psychology and sociology gives you this information. So once you have all of that laid out and you understand how they did it, I use triadic healing to reverse it. It does not sever you from Christianity if that is your preferred religion. What it does is it undoes the narcissism that they put there. So, that's it really. Is it undoes the narcissism and the empath servitude that's embedded within Christianity. So Rome can't hold on to you any longer. In addition to that, it also eliminates mental disorders because mental illness is a symptom of perspective health. If you understand perspective health and perspective psychology, then you understand how mental health is actually a symptom of your perspective health. So instead of dabbling around with this problem with mental health and functioning with a bunch of symptoms, instead, I go over here to perspective health and I build up your perspective. I reinforce, using imagination, I reinforce the authentic you and your ethics, not mine, yours. And I show you how you can establish your own identity, ethics, and authority, all using your imagination and your perspective. When you nurture that up and you learn how to protect it, which I do in a few weeks through Triadic Healing, it eliminates the Roman conditioning that our society is infused with. And I also build up your authenticity so that when you're done, you are you. And that allows you to literally live whatever life you want. Now, if you are into the magical arts, if you are into the ethereal walking and the energy arts, if you are into being a witch or however you identify, what that ends up doing is it opens the door for you so that you can access that power, because your power is your authority. That's really what it is. It's 100% your imagination, your authority, and your ability to claim your own autonomy. Once you claim your own autonomy without fear of being abused, because you're free of that abuse, then you are in a position where you're able to pretty much be and do whatever it is you want. Once you have that freedom, you become really amazingly powerful. So that's what triadic healing does. And I do this through imagination, play, and triadic healing. So that is available over at the Healing Garden, which is part of Authenticity City. And then I have a playground where adults can practice and use their power. It's where we can use our individuality to grow and heal and tap back into our childhood nature again. So from there, I also have my community building. I love networking. I love community. And that's where Imagination Nation comes in. That is my networking for nonconformists. So if you are in Authenticity City and you want to work on networking, promoting your own business, if you want to build your own business and become an entrepreneur, I work with you on that too. This is, by the way, like my fourth company, my fourth brand. So I know my way around business. I know how to function and maneuver business. So if that's something that you're wanting to do, we have available for you Imagination Nation, which is my networking for nonconformists. So you can network comfortably without having to shrink yourself and hide who you truly are. It's for magical adults. So everything I do is for magical adults. This is, again, part of Authenticity City. So you have the World Peace Department, you have the Healing Department, you have the Sanctuary, you have the community, you have the playground if you just want to play and celebrate life as a magical adult. We do all of that. I do events, I do online events, I do in-person events, I will be doing getaway resorts for other people where you can just come in and do like an online or a in real life getaway resort where it's all focused around imagination and real life magic. So when all of that comes together, that is pretty much the empire that I'm building here through Authenticity City. And then I take in light workers. If you are a light worker who wants to cultivate healing in others, I teach you how to do that using the psychology that I've mastered and passing on my techniques to you. Think that pretty much rounds it out. So basically that's what I'm doing now is just my rounds through these four things, through Authenticity City, Imagination Nation, my healing garden, and my playground, and just bringing it all together and now recruiting people. So if you're wanting, decide which part of this you want, join my newsletter. That's a really good place to start. Yeah, I'm still a little disorganized. I'm still cleaning up the disorganization because this has been in my head since I was 4 years old. So just getting it out of my head finally and putting it out there for people and then organizing it into a proper fashion has been a monolith of a task. And I'm now finally getting it all settled down. It's now getting all in place where it needs to be. So now I can go in and say, okay, here's the 4 pillars now. This is what I'm looking for, is making sure that everything is where it needs to get and then organizing all the people as they come in. So there's no limit to where you can be. You can be in any part of this that you want to be in. All the links are available on my Linktree account. Right now, my Linktree account is gargantuan and I need to condense that down. So that is my personal goals, is condensing down and simplifying. That's what I'm looking at doing, is simplifying and condensing it down. So, and it's just making sure that this is more and more clarified. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. So I think that's it for now. Um, I think what I'm going to do, because right now I have I do have newsletters available. And right now I've got 3 newsletters and I want to keep certain things separate, but at the same time, I'm going, yeah, I think I'm going to change the way I do that. I have groups on Meetup. If you want to do polynerds or if you want to do something on that aspect, you can. And anytime you tap into any one of my sources, it's actually stepping into Authenticity City. You're already in the city. So if you want to be in the primary hub of the city, that is Authenticity City. And go ahead and click on that below. It's on my Facebook page. That's going to be where that is. And that's where I post things like this. I present myself as Queen of Authenticity City. If you love politics and you're wanting to get involved with a change, that is something I do offer. I have a round table, and that is something available. And if you are needing healing at all, if you're needing to help with your mindset and basically bring out your authentic power, that is my forte. Oh my God, that is something I love doing. And I'm huge on communication classes, emotional management. I have a happy talent of being able to take psychology and breaking it down into really simple, comprehensive terms and practical uses. That is what this is. This is what shifting perspectives is it's basically my laboratory. It's where I go in and I do my work. It's where I do all my philosophizing, and then it's where my ideas are born and articulated. That way I better understand what it is I'm doing, which is what this is. It's my journal. It's a combination of my research. It's my journal. It's me breaking everything down so I can go, okay, these are the thoughts I need to organize. And then I go and I execute them. And every time I need to regurgitate idea and just get some perspective, this is where I go to do it. So if you are wanting to become a case study for the healing for that, it's $500 a week. Take a look on that below. And if you are wanting to join my triadic healing class, that's $150 a month. Take a look at that below. If you want to reach out and have a consultation just to see where it is you belong and what it is we offer here, reach out to me. I love talking to people. I love networking. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.